Hey YouTube, look who is a nurse. I graduated from my nursing program on Saturday. Just wanted to take a minute to thank everybody that supported me during that time. Thank you to all my friends and family that came to graduation. Congratulations to all my other classmates. There was about 30 of us that graduated together. It's been a long, crazy year, but we made it through, so I'm very excited. So I just wanted to take a minute to brag on myself that I am now a graduate of a nursing program. Still have to take my state boards, and then off I go into the real world, the working world. So I just wanted to take a minute to thank you all for that, and I also wanted to talk about the struggles some people might have as vegan and kind of my own personal story that I've had with my struggles and with my story. I started nursing school back in last September 2011. At the time, I had just kind of started eating better with my husband, exercising more. We had gone pretty much all vegetarian, which we had done off and on several times before, um, kind of with moderate success, I guess. Lose a little weight and then not. But we definitely enjoyed it. Definitely thought it was moving in the right direction. Then in December, when I had a little bit of downtime from school, we got on Netflix and started watching some different documentaries. We watched Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and we also watched Forks Over Knives, which really changed our view and our perspective of the benefits of a plant-based diet. It's really great. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, definitely get on Netflix, Forks Over Knives, and I think it'll really open up your eyes. It's not like an animal cruelty video or a documentary. I know that does make a lot of people sad and does really bring you down, which it is part of, the truth about the way America eats and the way most of the world eats. But this video is mainly geared towards the benefits of a plant-based diet and how you can reverse chronic diseases, um, some signs and symptoms of other small day-to-day irritations you may have. Just really detox your body and get you on the right path where you need to be. So after watching that documentary, we decided that we would go vegan. I had really no inclination of what it would be like. I thought it'd be a lot tougher actually. But we are a married couple who live together, obviously. So having that support system was really important from the get-go. We also live in a house with a full kitchen, so obviously that helps as far as dining in and cooking. So we do have the means to do that. So um, just keep some of these things in mind as I'm talking, and I'll get back to them. Kind of round it up here. So in January 1st, as a New Year's resolution, which I've never even done a New Year's resolution before, I decided to be completely vegan. So we had either given away, thrown out, tossed, what have you, or used up prior all of our milk, dairy items, cheeses, butter, any kind of meats, which didn't really hang around anyway. No more eggs. We were getting local free-range eggs, so I had to cut those out. It's really tricky at first. A lot of label reading and a lot of researching had to go into it. Now, mind you, during this time, I had just started my clinical rotations in nursing school, whereas prior I had just been in the classroom listening to lecture. So for clinicals, I have to be at the clinical site, which is normally a hospital, medical surgical floor. I have to be there at 6:30 in the morning, which meant I had to get up at 5 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning and have some type of food that morning before I left. So, it just takes a lot of planning. And then, prior the night before, I may not have gotten as much sleep as I would have liked because I was up doing paperwork, writing up meds, writing out nursing care plans. So I definitely probably wouldn't recommend embarking on something as ambitious as becoming vegan during such like a stressful time or such like a change kind of time. But I think it was a really good test of my willpower. So, I mean, I think if I can do it during nursing school, if you want to start it up at the beginning of this school year, I know a lot of people are going back to schools and colleges right now. Definitely just do it. I think that you can really do it. It's going to take some planning. I had to take my lunch with me every day to the clinical sites and to school because there aren't really very many options. If I go to the cafeteria at the hospital, there's not that many options, and you might think, oh, well, there's vegetables, you'll be fine. Well, when you live in the South, most of the time vegetables are prepared with butter, or even better, they're prepared with meat grease or meat drippings or fat meat put in, baked beans, that kind of thing. So it gets pretty tricky, and you do get tired of asking questions, or at least I do. I get tired of asking, what's in this? How is this prepared? And then people start looking at you like you have three heads, and they may get a little attitude with you. They may get a little frustrated. They're like, why? What is this girl's deal? Why is she asking me this? So many questions. I don't know. And a lot of the times they don't know, which I think is scary because, people, not only do they have food preferences and lifestyles like we do, but they also could have a food allergy. And the fact that, the people serving the food don't know what's in that salad dressing is kind of scary to me in a way. So hopefully that will get better with time as things progress. But it definitely, like I said, you do have to take your lunch, and you might look like the odd person out in your clinical group. I had a really great group of 8 people. They became like my second family. We went to all of our clinical rotations together, helped each other, change beds, clean patients, anything that was needed. We were really a unit. But when it came time to go to lunch, like you might feel a little bit alienated because you're the only one, microwaving your food over to the side, or, unpacking your containers, that kind of thing. And you might get some looks, and you'll definitely get a lot of questions. And some people will definitely come at you with a negative attitude. I had a few people in my class that definitely tried to push my buttons, I think. I don't normally let that happen. I'm a redhead, have a little bit of a fiery attitude, so I don't let that kind of thing get to me usually. And you just have to be well educated so you can answer those people with the correct information. Because ultimately, I would love for everybody to be vegan. I would love for everybody to understand how great it has been, and how much better you'll feel. Not and it's not even, I can't explain it. It's hard to explain. It sounds crazy, but I feel like not only from like a eating, weight loss, energy level, I feel like so much more confident in things that I can do. I was a lot more shy prior to being vegan. I know it doesn't even seem like it would make sense, but I did so many things in nursing school that I never thought that I would be able to do, or never thought that I would have the confidence to do. During our psychiatric rotation, I got up and sang karaoke in front of a group of, complete strangers during group therapy. So I just feel like it just really gives you that edge on people. It's really funny because every day after lunch, those people that had bought the meat products and the dairy products in the cafeteria, they would always be so tired and just dragging and just, ready to curl up in a corner somewhere and take a nap. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Like, I have all this vegetable energy. Let's burn it up. Let's finish out our day. So I think it just kind of, it's funny to me in a way, but I really do want everybody to change their eating habits. It would make me so happy. I saw so many patients too throughout my rotations that it was just sad. They had really let in their diabetes or different, disease processes really get the best of them. And, I would say 9 out of 10 times it is, preventative, so, and I would always try and educate them. Maybe not always the best time to try and educate somebody when they're sick in the hospital, but I feel like I just need to spread this story, and, tell as many people as I can about it without being pushy or negative. I feel like there's enough negative energy out there in the world, enough of the negative meat eaters that would just come at me out of nowhere. Like people that I wouldn't even hardly have talked to in class would just come up to me and just, try and prove me wrong, I guess. I guess they think like one day you'll just break down and be like, oh, screw it, just give me the double cheeseburger with mayonnaise, extra mayonnaise. No, it's not gonna happen because, it's more deeply rooted than just trying to lose weight or look a certain way. It's in a complete lifestyle change. And once you really get into not only the eating and you get into the products for your home, cleaning products, beauty products, clothing, you can really, it can really be overwhelming at first, but I would say just take it that step by step, kind of how we've done. I've talked about in some of my other videos about, how we're using up all the products in our home first that aren't vegan and then replenishing as needed with vegan products, or giving away, anything that's not, up to our standard. So I would definitely encourage you to just do it. You may be in the middle of school, you may be starting a new career, you may have just lost your job. I don't know. Like there's a lot of different things that life throws at you. Life happens. It's kind of our instructor's phrase from nursing school that she always used. Life happens, and you kind of have to roll with the punches. And for as many people too, I forgot to say, for as many people too that came up to me with negative attitudes, there were, a ton of really positive people that would come up and ask questions, wanting to know where did I shop, when was the farmer's market in town, like I had people ask me about juicing, just all kinds of things, and just ask me about, what were some changes they could make. So I felt really blessed to be in the presence of people that were open-minded and were seeking answers and seeking knowledge. So, like I said, I just encourage everybody to go for it if they're ready. Obviously, I would say three main things: have a plan. You have got to have some kind of plan. You can't just not go grocery shopping. You have to go grocery shopping. You have to, go to the store. You have to select the correct ingredients. You have to have a plan as far as recipes. I don't really plan out my meals for the week so much necessarily, but I will have like a good base of ingredients on hand because I kind of rotate through the same, I would say 10 recipes or so. So, yeah, have a plan. If you don't like to cook, I don't know what to tell you. If you live in a part of the world that has vegan friendly restaurants, then go for it. I'm sure you'll spend a lot more money that way, but like I said before, I live in Middle Tennessee. I think the closest Whole Foods to where I'm located is probably I'd say a good 45 minutes away, and I don't really justify spending gas money, putting emissions into the air to drive all the way to Whole Foods to get a jar of vegan eggs. So I do have to kind of run all over town, kind of plan it out. Publix is the only place that has veggie eggs, for example, here in my town. Um, Kroger and Publix both have Ezekiel bread, so you just kind of have to get in your little routine and get everything as needed. Try not to get burnt out on the same recipes to begin with, which can easily happen. Try not to eat only salads because I think you will come at a point where you're like, if I have to eat another salad, I'm gonna strangle somebody. So yeah, have a plan and have a support system. Luckily, I'm very blessed to be married to a man that's also vegan and went vegan at the same time that I did. I don't know how that would have worked out otherwise. I've met a lot of people just out and about that they're vegetarian but their husband's not, or vice versa. And I just think that would be hard to try and prepare two different sets of food and just I don't know. I think that would be rough. I do applaud them for being able to, stay true to what they're trying to achieve with their health and their wellness level. But if you can't, find somebody within your family, definitely hit up, the internet, trying to find a message board or a group, that can support you, or, maybe meet up with somebody local, once a week or something, just to kind of check in with each other if you're both kind of taking the plunge at the same time. Swap some recipes, talk about your struggles, talk about a great new grain or pasta or product that you found here locally. And the internet, like I said, it's a great resource too for shopping if you need to do that, which I've had to do quite often. But luckily, I think that it is a good time in the world to be vegan as opposed to several 10, 20, 30 years ago. You wouldn't have had the internet resources. You wouldn't have had the Whole Foods or the products even accessible to you or the information. So yeah, get yourself educated, get yourself a support system, get yourself some groceries because you're not going to be able to run to Hardee's, McDonald's, Burger King every time you're hungry because it's not healthy and they're not going to have any options for you. So just really stick with your guns. It's not always easy, but I think if I can do it, because I was pretty unmotivated initially, but it almost kind of becomes I don't want to say an addiction, but it just becomes like your core, and it becomes really important to you what you're doing for your body and what you're doing for the planet. Like I said, Forks Over Knives is definitely one documentary that I recommend. I have a lot of people in my family that have watched it. They're not full vegan, but for instance, my mother, she has quit buying cow's milk. She's still on cheeses. Come on, Mom. But she has gotten rid of dairy milk, cow milk, so she has experimented with cooking with soy milk, and she thinks it's great. So I think just little changes like that, if you want to do it gradually that way, that's fine. But I don't look down on anybody for their choices. I just want everybody to do better, and I really do pray for everybody every night that they'll open up their eyes and see the way that we have discovered. I know it's really hard because like the media and just shows everything you read in the papers. Sometimes can bash veganism. We saw a segment on the doctors a few months ago, and it was really disgusted me in a way because the host of the show would not listen to the physician that was representing veganism, wouldn't even let him hardly talk or get his point across. So we're gonna keep we're gonna keep on doing what we do in a positive nature. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. And once again, I want to thank everybody who has supported me um, during this hard year of nursing school and through this so far 8 month journey of being vegan. So if you would just take a minute to subscribe up at the top there, and I will keep making videos telling you all about how it is to be a vegan nurse and how it is being vegan in Tennessee, recipes, tips, tricks, products, all that good stuff. So I will see y'all later. Thank you. Bye.